A new op-ed in Foreign Affairs over the weekend is warning that America's political divisions could pave the way for China and Russia to become the world's dominant superpowers. That piece was written by former Defense Secretary Robert Gates, who served 5 years in the position under both the George W. Bush and Obama administrations. With Russia's war in Ukraine and constant threats toward Taiwan from China, Gates writes that this is the first time since the Korean War the United States has had strong military rivals in both Europe and Asia. We're joined now by John Bolton, who was National Security Advisor under President Trump. Ambassador, it's good to see you again. My first question straight out of the gate, what do you make of Gates' comments that, quote, America's political dysfunction and policy failures, end quote, is leading to an increase in Chinese and Russian influence around the world?
Well, I think he's largely correct in his analysis to the extent that the U.S. is not perceived as able to keep its government house in order. That does persuade people that perhaps our power is in decline. Now, I happen to be an optimist. I think Bob is too, but there's a lot of reason to be concerned when you see Congress unable to pass aid to Ukraine in this particular bill, a real growing sense of isolationism in both the Republican and the Democratic parties. I think the real failure here is a failure of our political leadership. I think presidents and members of Congress have to explain to people we live in a dangerous, complex world, and that requires that we take measures to protect our own interests and those of our allies. And we're going to have to pay for it, too. I think we can make that case, but I don't think politicians, really since the end of the Cold War, have made it effectively.
Yeah, and speaking of paying for it, I know in this article he calls for changing the way that Congress appropriates said money to the Defense Department, acting with more urgency to get this weekend's budget passed. But according to data from the Peter G. Peterson Foundation, the U.S. already spends more on defense than the 10 other largest nations combined. So is it about spending more, or is it about spending smarter?
Well, I think that statistic is a little bit misleading. Number one, we tell everybody exactly what we spend on defense, and many of our adversaries, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, don't say anything like what their actual budgets are, nor are they really comparable. Would you rather get paid as an American service member, as a Chinese service member? So our pay and benefits are not as good as they should be for our military members, but they're far superior to China. But the real reason, I think, ultimately, is we do have interest around the world. We are the major economy in the world. We have trade links everywhere. And those interests and those of our friends and allies need to be protected. We don't engage in the kinds of tactics you see Russia engaging in Ukraine, of basically using their soldiers as cannon fodder. We rely on more sophisticated weapons that hopefully do more damage to the embassy and less risk to our own service members. That will cost more, but that's exactly the way we should do it. So this is part of the larger question. We're in a presidential campaign now. We need a debate on why a strong American presence internationally is critical to sustaining the way of life we have at home. And I think what just happened in Congress over the weekend demonstrates that politicians need to face up to the reality in the world.
Yeah, we were lacking in the legislation that was passed, that stopgap bill. It was a total lack of funding for Ukraine. I had so many other questions for you, but Ambassador, I understand you're a busy man. You're needed elsewhere right now, so we'll let you go and we'll end it there today. Thanks so much, as always, for joining us.
To come back.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.